Alright, we should be live on both streams. What's up, everybody? That is now good. Yes. What up, Robert? Fix it. Yes. The thumbnails now say either vertical or normal stream. So hopefully that should help out. But yeah, someone was complaining earlier saying that they were not able to choose between both stream formats to watch, which is really strange. Anyone else running into that? If you somehow came and are at the vertical stream and don't want to watch it in a vertical format, simply click on my channel, go to the streams or live tab, and you should be able to find the normal version. But yeah, I don't understand the complaint that one person had. But alright, happy Wednesday, everybody. What's up? How is everybody doing? We got Stang 2007 in the house. We got Kale 130. What's up, Jason Whitmer? We got Craig Lilly, as always, Giant Robots, Candelario Garcia, Extreme Zone 987, lots of regulars. We got Arflet with the tech. Arflet, remember we talked about this. It's not called Tech Drama anymore. It's called Tech News. But okay, game journalist, trash Black Myth Wukong, but sells 10 million plus copies in 3 days. Journalist show for Concord. That was an interesting one that I've been seeing in like Reddit and Twitter and stuff often. Has anyone here played Concord? I'm really not into those styles of games. Like, I don't play Overwatch, I don't play Valorant and stuff like that. But man, like, if you look at, can we go to the browser scene without? No, because the browser scene shows the overhead cam, so that's not gonna help. Actually, what the heck? Where did that? Oh, there it is. Yeah, so it shows the overhead cam. I guess I can just do this. Here we go. So yeah, Concord. Steam player count on the Steam charts. 24. This is a brand new game. When did this game come out? This game released. It only has it's like 1 week old, right? Yeah, Friday, August 23rd. This game is brand new. And 24-hour peak is 200. Not even, they can't even break 1,000 players. All-time peak 5 days ago, not even 700 players. But right now, there's 187 people worldwide playing this game. Has anyone in this, just given the numbers of gamers that exist in the world, PC gamers, and the number of players, according to these stats, statistically, no one watching the stream right now would have played Concord. But I'm curious to hear if any of you guys have played this. Never heard of this game, says Pikawubs. Bad games sell well all the time. Bad movies, too. How's that drama? It's just gaming and tech news. Yeah. What up, Avery Kettering in the vertical chat? How you doing? We got Michael Levolte. What's up? What's up? 558. Yo, hello, bro. How are you doing? I like your videos a lot. You're a good guy. Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it. Go woke, go broke. Is this game woke? And also, the go woke, go broke thing doesn't apply to everything. There's plenty of things that have gone woke and are not broke. And I kind of hate that word broke, but I am not even aware of what Concord's design decisions and character decisions are, but I don't think that's the case. There are plenty of other games with that incorporate like people of color, different sexualities, things like that, those types of themes, and they are doing just fine. So, let's see. Concord is a AAA game that from Sony that cost $200 million to make. From Sony. What good games does Sony make? Spider-Man? Like, off the top of your head, if you had to name successful Sony games, what would they be? I think the Wukong stuff is misunderstood because it's not an American-made game. I mean, some of my friends are playing Wukong. They're thoroughly enjoying it. I'm trying to get a game key from someone who got it from a bundle that doesn't want it, so I can get it at a discount, because I'm not trying to spend $60 on it. There's too many games to buy. And for me, it's primarily going to be for benchmarking, but I'm pretty sure I'll enjoy the game. But yeah, I haven't played it yet. I've just done the benchmark. It seems fine. Most games aren't American made. That is true. But this is the first Chinese made one, so that is a differentiator there. But yeah. I only ever saw a thumbnail from an Overwatch YouTuber. Yeah, so it's like the hero shooter genre, which I don't know. Like, is there a demand for that type of shooter? I guess, actually, Steam and Deadlock. Is Deadlock? Steam charts. Is that on the Steam charts? So, if you look at a game that hasn't even released yet, right? Here's Deadlock. And this game is... I mean, it's kind of been in, like, a secret testing phase or whatever for a bit. But now it's pretty much, if you want an invite, you can get one. There's Discord servers that will send it to you and all that. But Deadlock, a game that isn't even announced and technically invite only with unlimited invites. Almost 100,000 peak, 24-hour peak. Yeah, so with Deadlock, it's just going to keep going up as more people learn about the game and play. Like, the 24-hour peak and the all-time peak are kind of going to be in line until they, you know, they reach whatever point where people are uninterested and stop playing as much. But yeah, like right now, yeah, even the current player count is very close in line with these. So this is like the ideal situation, which is what you usually see when a brand new game releases, right? Like the current players, the 24-hour peak and all-time peak are roughly in line. But yeah, Deadlock is another game in that genre. So I guess we're gonna ask that question: is there a demand or a want for a hero kind of based shooter? Given how popular like Valorant, Overwatch kind of fell off, I guess, but Deadlock being a new game, seeing a decent player base, I guess people still want these types of games. Changed my smoke alarm battery. It didn't even go off. Is someone hearing a chirping noise? I changed my smoke alarm battery like weeks ago. You are late on that update. I changed that, yeah. Gaming peaked when Among Us released. I don't know if I would agree with that, Jason. I don't know what I would if I would agree with that. The one, yeah, I saw about. Okay, where's that post? Let me find it real quick. Someone complained about no female characters. Let's see. And I saw a random. Okay, here it is. So people are like women characters in Wukong and their real life models. And then people are like, bro, all the Chinese women in this game are hot as and especially the Fox lady. So people were complaining that I guess in the early parts of the game there wasn't any. But if you look at this picture, beautiful women, right? And their real life and in-game counterparts. And it's looking pretty good. I mean, I haven't played the game yet, so I haven't seen like what the graphics cranked up to the max and the realism could look like. But yeah, you know, if that's what you play video games for, if you're looking for hot chicks and stuff, this game has it. You just gotta play a little bit more than the intro levels. So yeah, but yeah, that's funny that people were complaining about that. Highlander says, "Nerd on a budget. Your tone deaf. I don't. Okay, first Highlander. You can watch the normal stream, so I don't understand what the issue is with the complaint. I put the vertical stream here because obviously, if you look at chat, there are people who are watching the vertical stream. If you don't like this format, you can go watch the other one. But yeah, I don't understand the complaint. Giving people more options to watch." Hey, what's up, Mahuna? What's up, Ripper Reacts? What's up, double hyphens? Someone else would be complaining that, yeah, no, people are gonna complain about everything. You make like extra sexualized female characters that are like have unrealistic body types, people are gonna complain. But then if you try to make them more like real life, you know, then people are gonna complain about that too. So yeah, I mean, people are gonna complain about everything. Those are gonna be the people who have, you know, the most sad lives, that they can't get any enjoyment out of anything, and all they can do is complain online instead of, you know, actually going outside to touch grass and things like that. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't complain about anything, but you know those types of people when you read their comments, that they complain about the dumbest stuff. How's foot doing? Feel like I haven't got a foot update in a while. So right now, foot update before we get into unboxing stuff. So I'm able to put weight on my foot. Last I showed, I guess it was on Jason's stream. I'm able to put weight on it, but I can't like walk quickly, and I definitely can't run, and I definitely can't do things like open the trash can with the foot pedal that we have. I have to use my good foot for that. So I'm at the point where I am weight bearing on my foot, but there is still some pain, depending on how I walk on it. But in terms of how it looks, let me see. It still has like a discoloration. You probably can't see it from there, but maybe you can. You can see that the right one is still lighter. So we do still have discoloration from it. And my left foot, the bad one, steams up. It's weird. It gets like extra hot. And when I put, because I wear house slippers because I put orthotics. I put these orthotic soles in it to help out with my arch support so my foot doesn't collapse. But when I take out my house slipper, the left foot one is basically steaming, and it's like it leaves like like I guess sweat when I walk around on the hard floors and stuff. But yeah, basically I'm on a path to natural healing. There's not much more the doctors can do. They said they were gonna look into a bone growth stimulator for me, but they haven't gotten back to me about that yet. So I'm just thinking, like most medical issues, you know, where you go in, you try to figure it out, doctors can't do anything, and then you just naturally get better after spending all that money on copays and whatever the heck they do, x-rays, all of that. So yeah, that's the update on the foot situation. Hey, what's up, Hazard Me? What's up, Suitfu Hone? Glad your foot is doing good, thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, me too. I'm going to PAX this weekend. Actually it starts on Friday. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it's a, you know, mega convention, mega like gaming convention. So I will likely be on my crutch there though, because it is a long day of walking. And I don't want to put so much stress on my foot that it actually gets worse. So yeah. What's up, Henry Bob? Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it. What up, Gavin Seifert? Okay. So, we've had small talk for about 15 or so minutes. So let's get into the main bulk of the stream, or at least the starting portion of the stream. Let me show these cameras. So, remember a couple of weeks ago, we were looking on AliExpress for some budget PC parts. And then we found some X99 Xeon motherboard CPU combos that were like really dirt cheap. We're talking like $30 to $40 motherboards, and CPUs equivalent of like $6 to $10. So I actually ended up after the stream picking up a bundle, I guess the motherboard, we saw it during the stream, but the CPU, I ended up picking up a different CPU. So we're gonna be unboxing this, and I want to set up a quick test bench so that I can ensure that it's working, so that if anything is wrong, I could put in, you know, for a refund or whatever before the 30-day window, or whatever the return window is up. Nothing like sitting on parts for like a few months and then finding out you got a DOA part and then you're past your easy return window, and then you gotta try to deal with RMA, which with AliExpress, honestly, like, I know how good their deals are and how cheap their components can be, but I don't, like, does anyone here buy from AliExpress and had a part die, like, past the 30 to 60 day return window where it's like easy returns, but into the actual like warranty or RMA period? Like, has anyone filed an RMA like after long-term ownership with success. I would like to hear stories about that because that's something I don't hear anyone talk about, and I don't personally have experience with it because I've never had an issue. You know, I actually haven't had any issues at all buying from AliExpress yet. But yeah, so we're gonna unbox this and I'll show you what I got. This isn't everything. I did order a case on AliExpress as well for the build. This is all gonna go into like a cheap build. I haven't finalized the rest of the parts yet. I just bought the AliExpress stuff ahead of time because of, you know, the typically longer shipping times. So there's a case coming, which usually takes longer because it's a bigger item. This stuff actually, let's see, can you see in the thing? I mean, the only label that I see on here says that it came from California. So, I know AliExpress ships from different, like, factories all over the world, but this one, apparently came from California. That's why it came so quickly. It came in about a week. But yeah. Here, I gotta try to look at chat. But, so we're gonna unbox this and then hook it up real quick. Hopefully I can power it on and get into Windows and just to confirm that it works. But alright, this, if you never bought from AliExpress before, then, you know, it typically, it comes in bags. Most stuff comes in like these types of plain bags. And then inside, you get like individual packages depending on what you bought. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah, so none of these have my address. Let me see. This one has my address on it, so we're going to face that down. The other ones do not have my address, so we're good. So yeah, we will open up. Let's go from small to big first. Sorry, I can't pull up your guys' chat in terms of like highlighting it, but Jay Gordon says my left foot merch. Let's see how long before flagged. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have merch for my foot situation, but here is the CPU. Actually, is what it's looking like. Oh, is this Saran wrap? Actually, no. This is thicker than Saran wrap. This is just, it looks like shrink wrap. Let me see if I can find the... Nope, screw it. We're just gonna cut right through it. We are gonna cut right through it. But yeah, based on the shape, this is the CPU. And the CPU that I got was actually not one of the ones that we looked at on stream. We were looking at different, what is it, 2650 V4s, 2670s, stuff like that. But I think 2620 or 2630 also came up. But oh, the CPU comes in a pretty nice... We got a rubber band holding together this. Oh man, it comes with thermal paste? What? I was not even expecting this. It comes with a little tiny packet, like a little sauce packet of thermal paste. Which is kind of nice, but I'm sure I'm going to buy a cooler for this setup that's going to have either pre-applied thermal paste or its own. So yeah, that should be fine. And here's the CPU itself. So the CPU we are going with is... Can I get it to show in the light? Kind of. My lights are not set up to go this high. But this is the Xeon 2640 V4. 2640 V4. Come on, give me some better lighting. But this, let me look at my AliExpress account. This thing cost, what was the list price? Because I did get a discount code. Yeah, so this thing was $6.24 before, well, it's free shipping, but before tax and before applied coupon. After the coupon, I ended up paying $6.12. So, yeah. So, tax would have brought it up to what, like $6.80, $6.90, and then the discount applied because it was such a low cost item. But yeah, this has of the ones that we looked at, this has the best for the cheap ones anyways, because there are like 2670, 2690. Xeons. Those have much nicer clock speeds and boost speeds, but those were also like in the ballpark of 30 to 40 bucks. I mean, when you're talking about price to performance here, this is coming in. I forgot what the boost. Let me bring up the page. What the specs are. So 2640 V4 Intel. Yeah, so this one, it has less cores and threads than some of the ones that we were looking at. Remember, I was talking about, like, do you really need 12 cores and 24 threads? Or for the gaming situation, it would be better to have a little bit less cores and threads, but higher clock speeds. So this one boosts up to 3.4 gigahertz and has a base frequency of 2.4. So that's 0.2 gigahertz higher than the other version that we were looking at. And is dirt cheap. So is it better than the so the 2650? Let me bring up the 2650. I would say for most people it would be better than the 2650 because let me hide the camera real quick. So we look at the spec sheet, right? So this is the 2640 V4. So you're looking at 10 cores, 20 threads, 3.4 and 2.4 respectively. If you look at the 2650, you do get more cores and threads, but look, see, you're looking at 2.9 gigahertz versus 3.4 on the boost, and then 2.2 versus 2.4 on the boost. So, and then the cache, I don't think it's gonna make as big of a difference as the clock speeds, and then everything else is pretty similar. So because we're going to use this to primarily game with, I went for the higher clock speeds because I think that's more valuable than having extra threads that most games aren't going to utilize anyways. Gojira Ganja, can somebody translate what he's saying? I don't understand Japanese. This isn't Japanese. What are you talking about? We are talking, if you aren't familiar with like PC parts or specs and stuff, then a lot of this might go over your head. But in general, the key takeaway is this is a $6 processor that we're going to be using in a probably $300-ish gaming PC. Again, I haven't figured out what graphics cards I want to find to pair with it yet. But with this thing, I think there's a lot that we can find in the used market. So, I'm using my 2650 for Salad. Are you going to give it a... I'll see what I can do with this. I'm likely gonna stick to keep the price down. It's likely gonna be some kind of cheap Amazon like Thermalright cooler. So overclocking is nice and all, but it depends on how much more it would cost to do that and what the benefits actually are. In the full video, that's likely something I'm gonna talk about, whether it's even worth it or not. But yeah, it depends. I'm just gonna have to play with this and then kind of come to like my own conclusions on this being on AliExpress for so cheap, and like what the best method I think going with it is. And for the most part, I generally don't think overclocking is super worth it. But yeah, we'll see. Okay, actually, let me put this back in the thing before it gets accidentally damaged. GTX 1070 or RX 580? Yeah, I mean, those are nice sub $100 graphics cards, but if I can find something a little nicer, I think we might be able to squeeze it in and make it a good pairing. Alright, next package up. So yeah, so what I'm gonna have to do is I gotta fill out the rest of the parts, like SSD, power supply, depending on what I can find those for. The case for this build, it ended up being $26. I don't know how a tempered glass case from AliExpress can be shipped to my front door for $26 free shipping, but it was there. Hopefully it wasn't a scam. So after I add up all the the totals without the graphics card, it will give me an idea of how much I have left to spend. And once I finalize the budget too, but I'm thinking 300 would be a nice round number, maybe 350 if I find like a good deal on a like a higher end graphics card than the one that we just talked about. But all right, I also bought memory from AliExpress because ECC memory kind of is like the same price in the States. Actually, it's worse if you're trying to buy it from like Amazon, because the price is very similar, but the ones on Amazon typically don't have any kind of heatsink on it, and it's not like the heatsink really matters, but why not spend the same amount and get basically the same spec memory from AliExpress with heatsinks if you're going to be paying that much anyways. These came out to about $14 a piece, which DDR4 ECC memory, the price is almost the same, if not a little bit more than what you can find non-ECC you know, like typical DDR4 from in the States. I looked everywhere. First of all, you're not going to be finding you know, server memory that often on like OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace, stuff like that. That's just not something that people sell as much as, like, you know, typical consumer components. And so, but looking on eBay, I was like, why are these prices like actually not as good as AliExpress? So this is from the brand Killsry. We bought Killsry stuff previously for the other white build that's coming up in the P60. But yeah, this is 8 gigs a stick at $14 a piece. Couldn't really find a better deal than that. But yeah, I don't know. The whole memory prices, memory and SSD prices, it seems like the price, like the shift up in prices have kind of hit all areas of the industry, not just the consumer side. So Craig Lilly says, my problem is I keep forgetting to buy memory. You're buying stuff and not remembering the memory? Provost says, shout out from Barbados. Keep doing the good work, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it. Shout out from Seattle. Robert Fixit said, is there an invite code or something for AliExpress so you can get credit for my new account? So I can get credit for your new account. I don't believe so. I know that there's like discount codes which are running right now because they have their back to school August sale, or maybe that might have ended, but last week they had that. And it was just like a direct discount. But credit for a new account, I'm not sure about. But yeah, so we got memory to go with it, and then now we're gonna open up the motherboard. Yeah, so memory. Let me check the price again. Ouch, my foot. How much was this memory? This memory, we have $14.02 a stick. Very odd price, but $14.02 per stick. All right, now we're gonna go to the motherboard, and we have the Zsus, not Asus, but Zsus. Man, look at this dented box. Can you see the indentation a little bit from the angle that I'm showing? We got some crushness going on here, but yeah. So Zsus X99. Can you read this? Is it? Yeah, you should be able to read that. Zsus X99 P4 motherboard, DDR4 desktop memory, some generic stuff, but this packaging, just like a lot of other AliExpress motherboards, is just, you know, the company's generic box for it. It does not specifically say the motherboard model anywhere on here. It's just the company name and then generic gaming motherboard. But let's take a look and see if this thing survived the trip. Yeah, so you can see the box got a little bit beat up. And that's just what happens when you don't package things in a box like what Amazon or Newegg would do, and instead package it in a baggie. But there are levels of protection in here, and it looks like, hopefully let me see. Yeah, that should have made it just fine. The part that got dented in is where the CPU is, which has a cover. So, alright, so we got our SATA cable and the rear I/O shield. And let's take a look at the motherboard itself. So we got the green and black motherboard. We were kind of questioning whether or not we want to do a white build or not, but it just happens that I just picked the cheapest motherboard. Like, especially since I couldn't find the combo, the white combo with a 2640 chip, and I really wanted to go with the 2640. I just paired whatever cheap X99 motherboard I could with it. So here is the board itself. I'm just realizing now, the case that I got, I don't think it was micro ATX. There's nothing inherently wrong with it, except it's just gonna look funny. Let me see. Oh wait, no. I did get a micro ATX one. Sweet. So I got a micro ATX case. Oh, thank goodness. Otherwise, people are gonna complain that it's gonna have that weird gap on the bottom. But yeah, here's the board again with no CMOS battery, but you can pick those up literally at like the dollar store for $1. And let's see, we got a single M.2 slot, 4 memory slots, USB 3, no USB-C of course, because this is that old. And yeah, that is the board. So that is everything that I got in so far. Last thing from AliExpress will be the case, and then the rest of the parts I will source from here. I might reuse the what's it called? The SSD that I got from the other build. But it just depends on if I can find a better deal or not. So let me clear all this trash out. And then let's get this thing set up so that we can power it on and make sure there are no issues. Let me look at chat for a second though, because I have not been able to focus on chat since I've been unboxing. We're just gonna do an on the box test bench. Micro ATX is better. Micro ATX is better than the last case you built in. More room, the better to work with. Yeah, let me show you the case that I actually bought. It's actually still relatively on sale, it looks like. No. What are you doing? What are you doing? I need to highlight this. Where's the color? Okay, apparently I cannot. Okay, so let's show this. So this is the case that I bought. Yeah, see, 23 bucks. How much did I spend on it? I spent $26.31. I think this 23 is like the intro if you first make an account type thing, but yeah, I paid $26.31. So it is a micro ATX desktop case. It's got, I mean, they say without a pillar. So you got that tempered glass to tempered glass look, and you know, it's got power supply basement. I don't know what the quality of this thing is going to be, given that it's so cheap. It's under 30 bucks, but when you're talking about like a 30 or a $300 to $350 build, you don't complain about these types of things. You just have a case so it holds all your components and it powers on. You don't get the luxury of like choosing premium cases and premium features. Oh, they had a white one too. Oh, nice. But yeah, if you look for a cheap case and just want to dick around with like a cheap build, maybe look into this. But when is this getting to me? It says August. No, I ordered it August 19th. When is this thing getting to me though? Estimated delivery date September 22nd. Oh, so like a month of delivery. Yeah. Trey Parker says those X99s are always solid. Yeah, I'm very excited to play with it because the cheaper a build is, the more I get excited. Here in Venezuela, those are very popular. Saves my ass from gaming on a first-gen i5 a couple years ago. Yeah, I think the value is going to be really hard to beat. When you're talking about a $30-something motherboard and a $6 chip, like, to get an equivalent of that in the used market with like a Ryzen or something like that, or I don't know, 6th, 7th, 8th gen Intel, like, those are still going for quite a bit. You have to get a good deal. So it's either you spend all this time deal hunting, hoping for like a really good lucky deal, or you just go to AliExpress where there's like no effort. You just buy these parts. They're available 24/7, and you know, just call it a day. There are downsides to it, and we will talk about, or I will talk about them in the videos, because obviously there's no upgrade path, right? But again, $300 to $350 build, you don't really expect upgrade path unless you get lucky enough to get an AM4, like, you know, motherboard and platform. Then you get quite a decent upgrade path. But yeah. That's the case. Let me go back to the bench, and we are going to quickly install this and get it running. So I'm just gonna sit this Hyper 212 that I have sitting around. I don't even know how over the years I've obtained a lot of these Hyper 212 Evos without the proper mounting brackets. I have like 3 or 4 of these things, and it's not worth it. Maybe AliExpress might actually have some cheap brackets, but usually if you go on like eBay or Newegg or Amazon and try to buy brackets for these, like, I'm not gonna spend $10 on a bracket when a whole entire cooler that includes a bracket costs like 17 or 18 bucks. So I just have a bunch of these laying around that I just use for testing. Like, I will just hold it over the CPU with some thermal paste just for like when I need to boot something on real quick. But yeah, so we've got this. We've got a low profile GTX 750 Ti. And I use this for testing because it doesn't require any extra connectors. It just powered through the motherboard, so that makes it super easy. Oh yeah, and then I just got whatever power supply laying on the shelf. Here's an EVGA 750 BQ unit. And then we've got the monitor. I need to grab the mouse and keyboard. Give me a second. Alright, so then we also got the mouse and keyboard. So let's see if I can get everything set up here really quickly, so we can power this thing on. So we will start with the CPU. Come on. Let's see what chat's saying. Back in Sandy Bridge days, the Hyper 212 was the GOAT. Honestly, what Cooler Master needs to do, and some of their newer coolers are, like, they go on sale for around 20 bucks. Like the updated Hyper 212s, Hyper 212 RGB, etc. They need to release a cooler that is just like that price standard, because there's so much competition right now that it just doesn't make sense for them to have their coolers be priced at around 30 to 40 bucks when that's just like the standard price. So the chat's being covered by something right now. Frame Ripper says, I got everything you just posted minus the board. I bought the Mogo X99 16 gig 2650 V3 combo for 60 bucks. Is that 16 gigs of RAM that that single stick? Cuz we saw those when we were deal hunting for them a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know why none of them offered good deals for like 2 sticks of memory. Come on. I gotta turn this thing sideways. Rizzo529, I think I'm the one who talked to you about the Z-Syslo. I have the same board, is great. To me, all these brands from AliExpress are like the same. I just go for whatever is cheapest. But yeah, this does have like a decent amount of green highlights on it, so I will likely be theming like the lights around like being green. So All right, so we're gonna populate slots 1 and 3, which are the green ones. See, what I'm gonna have to do too is I haven't even shot B-roll of I have not shot B-roll of all this yet, so I'm gonna have to take this apart, repackage them up, and then shoot the B-roll for the video of the unboxing. But that's okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna use this stuff. I'm just gonna use whatever Arctic MX4. I got this gigantic syringe. But let me put in a SSD, and I think this one has Windows on it. We will see. We will see. Let me install this. Built replacement the 2650 today with the 2667B3. What are the specs on that one? Of course, the whole standoff comes off when I take off the M.2 screw. Let me just quickly tighten that up real quick so that it doesn't do that again. Usually I just use pliers to do that. Just get a nice little twist on it, and it shouldn't come off anymore. There it is. Alright, we got the SSD in there. Let's get this graphics card. And then it's going to be able to hold itself via the box on the side. Gotta plug in this power supply. Okay. Oh wait, this works. This one works. Alright, so power supply. Plug in 24 and 8 pins. I don't need that. This is a mess. There's crap everywhere, but it should work. Let me plug in my mouse and keyboard. Okay. Are we good to go? Minus me plugging in the cooler and putting some thermal paste. And we're just gonna do the good old squeeze down, held by hand. All right. I think we're good to go. I gotta plug in the display. Which, as long as you have a Microsoft account, you can just tell it you change your hardware and activated. Yeah, let me think. Can you do that with gray market keys? Because I feel like that's what everybody has nowadays. Like, everybody uses gray market keys. So when you change your hardware, technically that isn't allowed. Like, they'll say it was only meant to be used, like, one-time use for OEM systems, and you're not supposed to be able to hop around hardware with it. But I'm actually not sure, because my personal Windows account, I actually have a legit version of Windows, but I did not pay anywhere near $100+ for it. My buddy worked at Microsoft, so I was able to get the friends and family discount, which brought it back basically down to the price of a gray market key. Okay, I think we are good to go now. Power supply is switched on. Yep, all that is plugged in. So let me jump the system. All right, it's powering on. Do we get a signal on the... Uh-oh. Is it laggy? Actually, no, we're good. Okay, there we go. Are we gonna go straight into Windows? Oh, I think we are. So I chose the right SSD. The cooler's spinning. Okay. What the? Okay. Just choose for yourself, Windows. Cool, cool. Here, let me turn off this light, so it should be easier to see. I'm gonna read chat while this thing tries to get into Windows. It's just like reinitializing because of the new hardware. Gray market OEM usually works as long as the mobile is the same, tied to the UEFI. Yeah. Wait. I'm trying to think. I could have sworn I've swapped only the CPU before, and I've had a message pop up saying that Windows had to be reactivated, but don't quote me on that. In my mind, that's a memory, but that could be an incorrect memory. Are those gray market keys worth the $20? So it's kind of hard to say. It depends on your stance on piracy. Actually, what would you... So, who was it in the chat earlier? I can't. The mouse is over there. Is it Casey? Yeah, Casey Wall says, you can activate Windows through command prompt without even needing a CD key. Would that technically be considered piracy? Oh, yay, we're in. So, we are in Windows. It looks like we're good to go. Parts seem to be working. Oh, geez. This is strange. I gotta rotate the monitor. And Windows just... What just happened? It's changing the resolution. Screen is flickering. It's not too concerning. Usually that happens when there's a new graphics card or something and the resolution's all janky and then it figures itself out. But yeah, is it worth $20? If you are completely okay with piracy, which I am not advocating for or telling you to do it or not do it, then there are ways to get Windows activated without paying anything. But that's just that's up to you to figure out how to do that and if you're okay with doing that. Whether or not you consider that stealing or whatever. My stance on piracy is, would a company do it to make me... Wait, do it to me and feel bad. Would a company do it to me and feel bad? I'm not sure if I understand that stance. What is going on here? Did the cable get... Oh, okay, I can't rotate it. The cable is like slowly disconnecting. Now I gotta... Here. I just want to run Cinebench real quick and look at the temps. Oh, wait. Crap. I don't think I have like hardware info and stuff. Oh, I do. Okay, so I have hardware info. Let me see if I can... Okay, I got Cinebench. Oh my goodness. All these programs are popping up. And they're looking for the internet and all that stuff. Okay. Where are you? Okay, so we're just gonna quickly... see what the temps get to. With this janky CPU cooler pressure that I'm applying. Alright, where is it at? CPU's reading negative 125, nice. CPU package is sitting at 43 degrees. Okay, 43 degrees. We're running on all cylinders. So, yeah, I'm not gonna hold this entire time. It passes the sniff test. I'll make sure there's no issues with it later. But yeah, we're good to go. So let me shut this down. And I'll show you the listing of the processor that I got. Alright, so we're good there. Let me come back over here. And we'll take a look at... Okay, so let me find the CPU. 624. Okay. So this is the CPU. Nope, that was not it. The link did not copy. What are you doing, computer? Okay. Whoa, look at this. Welcome deal. This is the exact listing I bought. 99 cents. This... If you've used AliExpress before, you're not going to be able to get this CPU for 99 cents. And look at this. 99 cents, free shipping. But that normal price right here, that 624 that you see, that's how much I paid for it. And yeah. So, obviously, this is not a modern CPU. This is old. This is how old now? Launched in Q1 2016, right? So, that's 8 years old. But, at the time... it was a $939 MSRP processor. Processors typically can be used for a very long time until they become completely useless and garbage. Much longer than GPUs. But especially this one being high-end too. So, yeah, this is going to be fun to play with. Yeah, so we got that. We've got the case. And we've got the motherboard. We're all good to go. Xeons, woo, what up, Chris? What up, what up, what up? Yeah, I'm talking about your favorite subject, Chris. High Rider says, would Amazon take my stuff for free and feel bad? I think they wouldn't care because of how they treat customers currently, so I don't feel bad for companies. Okay, so I think, and again, this is not me telling you going out to pirate Microsoft and stuff, but Microsoft, I think, doesn't care if you pirate Windows or not, as long as you're using it, because when you're using it, you are giving them free data. You are paying with, you know, even if you shut off all the stuff, I don't think it's possible to completely like prevent them from getting your user data. But yeah, I don't know, like using Microsoft and being the you know, like being their customer and just constantly feeding them data. I think you could, some people, I'm not saying you can, but some people could justify that as being enough to pay off the Windows key if you pirated it. But that's for you to decide, right? Every company's Evo, you can justify whatever you want, says Jason. That's true. The value you can extract with the incredibly low secondhand price of these CPUs is amazing, but to get the cheapest does give up some performance, unfortunately. Still awesome, though. Yeah. This CPU won't meet security requirements for Windows 11 either. Yeah, so, at least you won't get that annoying. Do you want to upgrade to Windows 11 prompt, which I've been getting on my current system because I'm still on Windows 10. Who here is on Windows 11? I am on Windows 11 on like my laptop, but for my main system that I do gaming and video editing and all that stuff, maintain the YouTube channel with, I'm still on Windows 10. I don't think there's anything wrong with Windows 11, but I'm just being stubborn in not doing the upgrade. Also, I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fine if I did do that pushed update, but whenever I use a new operating system, I like it to be a fresh install. So the day that I do decide to go to Windows 11, I would like to do it via a fresh, like a reformat, and then starting fresh on Windows 11. I don't want to carry over a Windows 10 to Windows 11 conversion, if you know, if that makes sense. And I reformat every few years anyways, so whenever that comes up is likely when I will hop on to Windows 11. So Windows 11 is still not optimized. It's pathetic, really. I'm still using Windows 7, says Casey Walls. I can't tell if you're being serious or not. If you're being serious, what reasons do you have for still staying on Windows 7 on your main PC? I'm not saying like on a secondary or side PC or like media console PC or something. I'm saying on your main PC, you're saying you're still using Windows 7? I don't even remember when I started using Windows 10. I think it was, if I had to guess, like, when did Windows 10 even come out? Let me see. Official release. Because I remember for a while, Windows 10 was basically given for free for you to upgrade from 7 to 10. And everyone, like, took advantage of that. So 2015, I think I may have upgraded, yeah, around then, 2015, 2016. I don't remember the exact date. That's not something I thought to, like, track and record, but yeah. High Rider says, I refuse Windows 11 because it ruins the OS for gaming. Which specific game? Like, ruins it? Or just, because with the whole, like, well, no, the hardware unbox thing was, if you, they used some version that wasn't even available yet, right? Which is why they got better performance, which is kind of weird, but do I rate budget builds, by the way? Also, man, love your videos and your work. Thanks for the kind words. Kind of. So, if you look over on our Discord server, let me go to the browser scene. So, on the Discord server, which links will be in the description and all that, or I think you can do, let me see if this works. Discord. Will it post the Discord link? If the bot knows what's good for it, it better post the Discord link. If not, it's in the description. But over on the Discord server, there is a section for people to submit their builds and setups just for everybody to see. So look at all of these beautiful builds and desk setups that people have submitted. You can submit it there, and then just remind me during one of the streams, and we can take a look at it. Or there's also a stream submissions portion if you don't want to do a full write-up like from that channel. People like Shauner, was this 2 weeks ago, posted, you know, a build that he was doing and finished. So yeah, there's multiple places where you can post it and I can take a look at it. But Robert Fixit says, I'm daily driving Windows 11 as of last week as an experiment to see if I die or not. You're not gonna die, Robert. It's fine. Actually, yeah, so my test bench, I also put Windows 11 on, and just in the, like, using it, it's fine. I'm trying to think of, like, in terms of how dramatic the update is. Going from 10 to 11, it's not like they moved around a bunch of stuff that makes things that you're used to finding, like, harder to find. Like, UI-wise, okay, well, UI-wise, all your taskbar and the icons and stuff like that, it's default to the center, but you can move it right back to the left side if you want. But yeah, there's nothing like inherently wrong about it, aside from me not wanting to do like the conversion. Mark, last name redacted, with the 4.99 super chat. Thank you, Mark, for the super chat. Why did they get rid of the? Okay. So there are. Is there a way to bring it back? Let me see. Let me see. I feel like that's a common complaint. Windows 11 minimize all button. I use that button a lot, by the way. For my own computer, I use that all the time. So minimize all button bottom right. Let me see. Yeah, you make a good point. Little stuff like this, especially how much do you have to gain from going to Windows 11? Even if over time games become like more optimized to perform better on like the newest version of Windows versus older ones, is it ever gonna be like a huge amount? We're talking like double digit across the board. They removed the ability to minimize all. Okay, is there any like way to bring it back? Some kind of mod? Hey, all the show desktop option is now disabled. It's disabled by default. You can easily re-enable it and toggle if you want to turn off the Copilot buttons on the same page. Okay, yeah. So this is what I thought would be the case. Kind of like how all your icons or all your like programs and stuff are defaulted to the middle. There are options to bring back what you're used to. You just have to kind of dig for it. I personally, like, I can't search for that right now, but apparently there's a way to do it. Oh, there's a screenshot. Let me see if I can bring that up. Settings, okay. Copilot, yeah. Okay, select the far corner to show desktop. Okay, so this is it right here. This has to be it. Because minimizing all windows is showing desktop. So there is an option. I don't mind the middle icons. Yeah, I don't mind them either. I've gotten used to them. I do want this feature back though. So I need to go re-enable that. Anyone try the AliExpress AM5 motherboard? How do you wait, yeah, just Jinyu B650i Night Devil. Let's look this thing up. ITX intrigues me. What is the price going to be? AliExpress, here it is. $112. What is the cheapest ITX motherboard otherwise on let me see, products, motherboard B650i. So is that it? Let me see. Give me a second. Let me make sure I got the filter. ITX. Mini ITX. So, yeah. The list of ITX motherboards for the B650 chipset is pretty limited. And the cheapest one is looking to be $200. Or you can go with the AliExpress special for $112. Dude, you could buy this and a 7500F for under $250. That's like a very modern platform, very modern chip. ITX form factor for $250. I kind of want to buy this thing, but I already have too much stuff on my plate. I think, okay, just keep reminding me of these things like in the coming months. I will eventually buy an AliExpress AM5 ITX board. I just can't right now. I have other stuff I need to get off my plate first. But yeah, if anyone has tried this, let us know. Honestly, I think this would be just fine. Like, I would not buy this board if I was trying to put like a 7900 X3D or like, you know, some super crazy high-end AM5 chip that's really expensive. You know, it costs $400 or $500. I would not pair that with a $100 motherboard. But if I'm going to be buying a $130 7500F, I would be perfectly okay, especially it's such a low watt, it's like a 65 watt chip. I don't think you would really run into many problems. And the price difference between this and the alternative being $200, that's a huge discount to me. And I mean, 198 sold, 32 reviews. Yeah, you could say that the reviews on AliExpress are questionable, but I think let me look at this. Yeah, it's not like it's you know how some AliExpress motherboards like they skimp out. Just looking at the why can you not zoom in with AliExpress like as a whole picture? Let me open this in a new tab. Open image in a new tab. Okay, awesome. Open in a new tab and they give me the little thumbnail version. I can't open this in a new tab though. Interesting. But yeah, my gut feeling, and I plan to buy this, is that this board will be just fine. It is a picture for ants. Hi Rider91 says, my experience with 11 has been bad, and now Micro is coming back to 10 to remove control panel. I got a B450 for like 99 bucks. Yeah, look at that. B450 boards are surprisingly expensive unless you buy it used and get a decent deal. Like if you want to buy I mean, I'm talking about like years ago, but let's see, like B450 motherboard, like the low end B450 boards, I guess you can still find some for 70 bucks. Oh, okay, 60 bucks. That's like the really low end boards. But if you want anything that actually has some kind of a heatsink on the VRMs, then you're looking at like 75 here, and this is still a pretty dinky board. This is a DS3H. I mean, it does the job fine, but if you want something a little chunkier, like the Steel series, the Steel Legend rather, where's like the Phantom, where's the Tomahawk, the Pro from MSI, you're looking at least 100 bucks. Joe G says, hope you guys are right about the AM5 motherboard. If I had to bet and put money on it, I would bet that that board is going to be just fine. This motherboard can handle a 7800X or 7850 X3D. The VRMs are actually really good on this. Casey, you're talking about you use it every day. This one, is this the board that was brought up? And I don't know if it was by you or someone else in the chat, Casey. Like months ago, someone brought up AM5 ITX board. Is this the only B650? Do they even call it B650i here? Yes, they do. Okay, is this the only AliExpress special? No, there's that one's 182 bucks. Never mind, because that's from MSI. We've got ooh, what's this one? Wait. Is this like a non-Wi-Fi? Give me a second. 93 bucks. What is the difference between these two boards? Or is this the exact same board? And this listing is just even cheaper. Oh no, this has shipping on it. 20 bucks. Okay. So it comes out to roughly the same price. This one's free shipping. Okay, what other boards? Here's another one for nope, that's from the same brand. Jinyu. Yeah, so all these are Jinyu up until you get to like MSI for closer to 200 bucks, like in the States. So okay. This is the only like budget AM5 ITX option on AliExpress. Just multiple listings at slightly different prices. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, I figured it was you. Casey was the AliExpress promoter who does not get paid to promote AliExpress. But you know, when things are good enough to share, you should do it whether or not you are getting paid. Dang, the welcome deal that came up for me is the 2640 8 gigabytes times 2 sticks with some motherboard for $62 with free shipping. Let me see, about $30. Yeah, so I think I bought. Let me see what I bought the parts for. So we're talking $6 plus 28, so that's 34. So I ended up buying them for about $70, so a little bit more expensive than $62, but I feel like your welcome deal, you should, if you have a purchase that you need to buy that might be more expensive, like a more modern chip, like, you know, the 7500F or something, right? Like, I don't know if I would want to use up a welcome deal on something that's already so cheap. Like, try to maximize it by getting something a little bit more expensive if you need it, of course. Don't just be buying stuff willy-nilly to spend money. That is a bad idea. You will go broke doing that. Okay, let's see. I posted this a couple of weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, because I kind of wanted just to randomly talk about it on stream. You guys remember this company? It wasn't even that long ago. Like, this company came and went-ish. And within the last 10 years. It's not like they've been gone for 10 years. But I have very fond memories of using these coolers. Especially near the earlier phase of my YouTube career. These were like, before Thermalright and stuff came around, these CryoRig M9 coolers, which performed as good as like Hyper 212s at a pretty fixed $20 price point, was like, any chance I could, I use these things. But I'm kind of sad. I like the design of CryoRig coolers, but I guess, like, with how competitive cheap coolers are these days, let's take a look at CryoRig coolers. They stopped selling in the US. I don't exactly know why. CryoRig used to be sold on Newegg and Amazon and stuff like that. You might still be able to find them, but I don't know if it's CryoRig. Yeah, if you find them, they are typically going to be from third-party sellers. Like, what is this distorted image? This is being sold by Super Phoenix. But you're not going to be able to find them for what they went for. Like this H7, I believe this was like a $40 cooler-ish. And then the M9s were $20 coolers. And if you do find anything from them, they're pretty much going to be overpriced now. But I like the design of their coolers, though pretty much Thermalright and ID Cooling and stuff makes the same looking things now at good prices. It was just so weird how they were a pretty popular brand, affordable, even though they had products, you know, ranging from like $20 coolers up to like closer to $80, $90 like coolers. Let me see if I can find them actually. Like some of their more expensive H5 Ultimate. Where's like the really priced? The R1 Ultimate. So yeah, they had like these more higher end coolers. And this is as big as the picture went. And then all of a sudden, they just stopped selling in the US. I forgot what year this was around. Like 2018 maybe? That CryoRig just completely left the US market. Apparently, they are still around. Like, does this say where I can buy these? I'm guessing they are mostly in like the Asian and European market now. Because you can't really buy them easily now in the US. The Iceman CPU coolers. Those are... I remember... I think I first saw those from... Techia City, Brian. But... Oh wait, you're talking about the Iceman or the Snowman? Because I think I'm thinking of the Snowman. Unless there is a... They are also called Iceman on here. But yeah, I remember the Snowman coolers. Yeah. Danny needs to replace the ARC 770. I get for video encoding, but for playing games... I mean, I could easily swap in... Like, I've got the 7700 XT on hand. I've got the 7800 XT. I've got, like, the RTX 4070 Super. Like, I have more powerful cards that I can throw in my system, but... how long has it been since I've been running this ARC system? Like, I've had this ARC system for multiple LAN parties now. I game on it, and I've been using it for... Has it been a year yet? I guess I could end my user experience with the Intel ARC cards, but right now I'm too lazy to take apart my system to put in whatever card. So until I really need the horsepower for the graphics side of things, I'm just gonna keep it in there. Yeah, I mean, I've got options. It's just I don't feel the need to do it, so... Iceman must be a knockoff? Yeah, I don't think I've seen Iceman coolers. Where can we find these things? Iceman cooler. See, if I look up Iceman cooler, I'm gonna get literally ice chests for the picnic. That's where Intel is trying. Is there any new rumors for Intel Battle Mage? Rumors, like, is there anything recent? Digital Trends has an article. Gamers Nexus with the Gamers Nexus article. Yeah, they're bringing back the articles because for a while Gamers Nexus kind of put the article and written stuff aside for like the video stuff, but it looks like, I mean, June 2024 Battle Mage, so they are looking at what's it called? Or they are showing some focus on this. Okay, Intel is officially has official Battle Mage information for its next GPU architecture. Picture below is one of the first motherboards with XE2 on it. Okay, I'm looking for dates and stuff. Oh, so this, yeah, the written article is adapted from the video. So I mean, I guess the fact that Intel is still even talking about, because I think a lot of people thought there was rumors that Intel was gonna stop after Alchemist, after like poor sales and stuff like that, but it's looking like there's more information pointing towards that not being the case, and we are gonna get Battle Mage, but when is what I care about the most. Yeah, I mean, there looks like there's quite a bit of information that's publicly known. Everything we know so far from Digital Trends as of this month. They've been dropping hints about it over the last year, yeah. But there's no dates leaked. And probably, of course, no performance numbers leaked. So yeah, oh, pricing and release date. Battle Mage production started in the first half of 2024. Oh. In addition, Intel itself shared a slide with Japanese media outlets showing a new GPU launching in 2024. I don't know if Battle Mage is targeting very late 2024 or early 2025. I mean, it's already... We're about to be in September soon. You've got 4 months left of the year. Last quarter. What was this roadmap? I've seen this roadmap before. Early enabling. Okay. Yeah, they definitely... This was a Q3 2022 roadmap. So, 2 years ago. Yeah, they're definitely not following this this pacing anymore. I know not everyone likes it, but I like the lighting on those cards. Are you talking about the limited edition ones or like the Acer ones, or which one? They don't look bad, but I don't think they look particularly good. They're very simple. Also, I don't like the material on them. So the material on the Intel Arc cards is not like a hard plastic. It's a like rubberized plastic. I don't know what the official name for the material is, but I have owned not only graphics cards but like peripherals, like gaming mice and stuff that have this very similar texture. And this is the stuff that years down the line eventually starts breaking down and become really sticky if you've ever owned a part like that. So, I mean, these cards do look very sleek and clean. I'm not a fan of the materials that they used for it. That kind of like soft rubberized plastic. My prediction is in like 7 or 8 years, even just like sitting there, it will eventually break down and become sticky. This is not metal. There are metal components. I mean, there are metal and plastic, etc. Like, but this surface that I'm pointing to right now, it is coated with a rubberized feeling plastic. And again, I don't know what the official name for it is. And also, look on this picture, if I could bring it up. Yeah, this whole outer border of it, it's that same rubberized kind of plastic. Yeah, that rubberized coating stuff is pure demonics indeed. But I mean, I'm curious if they're gonna keep the same design for Battle Mage, kind of like how Intel and AMD is gonna be doing, where they keep the overall design pretty similar going to the next gen. Well, except for when Nvidia made the huge drastic jump from RTX 2000 to 3000 series cards with the cooler, but from like 3000 to 4000, and AMD did the same thing. They kept the look familiar with slight subtle changes, so I'm curious if Intel's gonna do that here. But yeah, I don't know, we'll see. I'm never gonna put down a company that's trying to add more competition. And it's funny because I feel like nowadays, if you ask people about Intel Arc cards, especially given their price reduction, people say pretty positive things about it, but not many people are actually buying them and using them. It's just like, people say that it's good, but it's still not worth buying. Wait, I don't remember what Gamers Nexus is, what their thoughts were on this when it first dropped. I feel like they weren't overly negative about it. It's funny because given the price, does anyone remember what their coverage on the Arc A770 was? I guess we could bring up the video, Gamers Nexus, and you might be able to tell by the thumbnail and the title. Intel Arc Revisited. Okay, Intel's A770 is incomplete, is what they said. And then glue and tape with the, like, oh no, look to it. Okay, so not that positive. I feel like, though, even though Steve's, like, review of this card wasn't that positive, it wasn't necessarily as negative as something like the RTX 4060 or the RTX, or not the RTX 4060 only, but like which was it, the i7 11, or is it the i9 11th gen, whichever one that dubbed the phrase waste of sand. I feel like with Intel, even if a reviewer has negative things to say about it, it's always backed, and this is how I found it too, right? Like, it's backed with it shows promise, and it's a good thing for the industry overall. So they never like, I'm not sure if I've seen someone like beat down Intel Arc card reviews as much as people beat down like Nvidia or AMD cards when they launch. What's that Gordon Ramsay meme where it's like, oh my sweet child, oh dear gorgeous, yeah, where he hugs the one person, but then in the adult version of the show he says, what are you, a wanking idiot or something like that. I feel like that's how they treat Nvidia and AMD versus Intel Arc cards. They soften the blow quite a bit. Rad Robot says, when are we going to admit to ourselves that Gamers Nexus is really a drama channel? I don't think that's a true statement. If they were really a drama channel, all of their videos would be the investigative journalism type drama videos, but it still, they produce more technical videos and reviews than they do drama channels. Though the drama videos definitely do get like the most views. But yeah, I wouldn't say they're a drama channel, even though there are points where it's like dramatic, right? Stop being an Intel fanboy. I am not an Intel fanboy. I say that as I use a 12th gen Intel i7 chip with an ARC A770 card and an Intel P660 SSD in my system. I'm not an Intel fanboy. Intel stock still $19. Oof. Hey, time to buy in, huh? Prayed E says, Prayed. I want to buy best brand new AMD CPU for games and work. Does it make sense? I have a very bad setup now, so I want to build absolutely fresh PC and gaming. Aim for 5000 series NVIDIA GPUs. The best brand new AMD... Yeah, but how much do you have to spend? If you have... What you said for gaming and work? For games and work. What is your work? I mean, 7800 X3D is pretty much like the no-brainer choice for gaming. But I would imagine for most people that would work. Like for me, if you consider YouTube, work, video editing, stuff like that, that would work fine for that too. So I don't know if you do anything else that might need like a Ryzen 9 chip, but and if you're going for a 5000 series NVIDIA GPU, it sounds like you might have plenty of money to spend. So yeah, you can just pick like the top end. I guess between the newest 9000 series and 7000 series, I think you could buy like a 7800 X3D and still not get buyer's remorse, even though it is not the newest generation. Gavin says, how do you use one SSDs for multiple test benches and motherboards? Honestly, if all the systems are running relatively modern components and, you don't put Windows 11 on the SSD because of compatibility issues with old stuff, you could just move them between board to board. As you saw when we did it for this system, sometimes Windows needs to reinitialize at the beginning and like set up a little bit because it's seeing new hardware. But I've only ever run into problems trying to use the same like benchmarking drive for when I go to like really old systems. Either it doesn't detect or it doesn't like that it's like GPT versus MBR or something. But yeah, with most modern-ish, like, and this was X99, so 2016. Not super old, but not the newest either. Like, that benchmarking SSD I threw in it, that was also used for like 12th gen AM4, AM5 type systems. So yeah, you can just plug it in. Usually it'll work. If it doesn't, then I've not had much luck trying to get old systems to recognize like a Windows 10 partition that was set up with a newer system. But just try plugging it in. Usually it works fine. XX Broku XX. Notice me, senpai. You have been noticed. You even got your comment pulled up. I still will never be able to justify the price difference between a 7900 XTX and a 4090. Thoughts, Danny? I mean, even the 7900 XTX is too expensive for my blood. Well, actually, those are going for what? Not are those down to 800 yet? Which is still like, again, I operate in the ballpark of usually $300 to $500 GPUs, and 500 is like on the high end. Yeah, so they are down to like, it looks like 900-ish, a little bit under 900, 8 something. You can, ooh, what is this one? That's an XT. The XTs are noticeably cheaper. You can get XTs for what, like 6 something, 700. Where did they all go? $699. But to answer Casey's question, between a 4090, so that's like what, a $700-ish difference, $700-800, depending on what you can actually get a 4090 for. I am not gonna knock people who want better ray tracing performance, who want the specific DLSS features locked behind those 4000 series RTX cards. I'm perfectly fine with using FSR, but some people say FSR look like garbage compared to DLSS. They probably have better eyes than me, or they're trying to kid themselves into convincing themselves that they didn't waste a ton of money on a more expensive graphics card. I don't really have that strong of opinions on this one. People are going to like NVIDIA, and they're not going to change their minds about it. I'm trying to think in my life, like, it would be hypocritical of me to like talk badly about people who want a 4090 over a 7900 XTX, given their price difference, when... Oh, okay, here's an example. I own a Dyson V10 cordless vacuum cleaner. If you don't know what that is a... I don't remember how much we bought it for. Like $400 or something like that at Costco 5-6 years ago. There are alternatives to the Dyson V10 vacuum cleaner, like from Shark or some other brands, that could mostly do the same job of vacuuming up your house without being plugged in, you know, stick vacs. But my wife and I decided that we wanted something that worked really well. The battery on that thing is great. The suction power is great. We haven't had issues in it in the 6 years that we've owned it. And it makes it so that a chore like cleaning, which you typically don't want to do, it makes it so that it makes it as pain-free and effortless as possible, minus a robot vac, which we also do have. But the robot vac, it can't do stairs and it can't do the upper levels and stuff, so we still have that. So yeah, like, I understand wanting to buy a more premium, much more expensive product because you feel that you have a specific use case for it and you get your money's worth out of it. I think a lot of people would look at me and call me crazy for spending $400 on a vacuum cleaner, but I think it was well worth it. Like, especially since, you know, it was something that was a shared purchase with my wife that we both get use out of. It is for our home, right? So it's not like I am a single bachelor with like an apartment and I bought a $400 vacuum. Like, it was for our home and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I have one of those things too. Now it's about 10 years old and it works real good. One of those Dyson. Do you have a Dyson ball vac? Did they have stick vacs back 10 years ago? Actually, they probably did, because I have the V10, so they probably, there's like the lower V versions. My goodness, time flies. A lot of my life I reference towards when me and my wife bought this house, and we're coming up on 6 years in this house now. So yeah, that was 2018 when we purchased this house together, and time has flown. I had a Dyson, but it did not have the life of the Eureka. I had a Eureka. Now we're talking about vacuum cleaners, guys. I had a Eureka when I was in college. Do they have a stick back? Looks like they do. Oh, this one's a very small version. But I had something that's not this expensive. Oh my god, $300 for a pushback. But yeah, I had a cheap Eureka in college. It was fine. It was bagless version, which I prefer because I just like the canisters that you can just dump into the trash. But thanks for the water reminder. Thank you for the water reminder. Dyson vacuums are interesting as they're engineered. Oh no, where did they go? Where did the message go? You're lucky cordless vacuum cleaners typically stop working after a year. No way. I bought my mom. I'm so cheap. I got myself the Dyson V10, but I bought my mom. It was on sale. And was it a Samsung? Does Samsung make stick vacs? It's because like I found a good deal on it. Okay, yeah, I got her a Samsung Jet on a sale. Oh, these are apparently also expensive. I did not pay $400 for the one I got my mom. But yeah, pretty much. And I know quite a few people with stick vacuums because once you go stick vacuum, I feel like it's hard to go back. I don't know of anyone who like has had a stick vac die in the span of a year. Ours has been going really strong. I have family members and friends who had it. Yeah, I don't know of anyone who has complained. Jason Whitmer in the chat, who says his has been going for 5 years. So I have a 3-in-1. Love it being able to sweep and mop my floors at the same time. The mopping and sweeping thing would be nice, though I'm not like I just use a separate mop for that. If I could go back in time and change my vacuum to one of those, I probably would. But I don't know if water would complicate the longevity at all. Countdown to Tesla launching a vacuum line. Charge it from your car. Use it to charge your car, or backwards, use your car to charge the vacuum. Dyson uses the same size screw in the entire vacuum, so it was easy to repair. Interesting, I didn't even know that. I have not had to... The maintenance on the Dyson V10 that I have as well, I don't even know what Dyson... What version are they even on now? Like V14, V15, so there's the V11. But yeah, mine is considered pretty old by this point because it's like 6 years old. But Dyson V15, $950. Okay. Wet and dry vacuum cleaner. It's because it's the wet and dry one. My goodness. I have a line when it comes to how much I would spend on a vacuum cleaner. That line is a lot lower than $950. Oh my goodness. I was not even aware that Dyson made V15 Detect Absolute. So, man. So this one is not a wet vac. And this one goes up to $650. That's crazy. But my vacuum looks very similar to this. It's so easy to maintain too. Like you can pull apart the canister and the filter and all that very easily, which is what I like about it. I'm not even trying to show for Dyson. We just got into the topic of people paying a premium for like specific products. And I think like, I don't know, what are people's perception of Dyson stick vacs that cost on the upwards of $400+? If you asked me when I was in college or fresh out of college and just got my first job and still pretty broke, I probably would have laughed in your face at the idea of a vacuum cleaner being this expensive. But now being a homeowner, being an adult and all that stuff, like for a product that brings value to your home and that lasts a while, it stuff like this can make sense. When you have a toddler, finding things that simply that simplified cleaning is a must. Yeah, I bought a Hydrovac XL for Amazon for 109. I would agree with that. I don't have a kid yet, but I do agree with that sentiment. I'll stick to my corded vacuum. Yeah, I mean, you can get corded vacuums at the store for like 40 or 50 bucks, and they do a good job cleaning. But yeah, I would never want to go back to corded. Trying to go, like, being stuck to an outlet or having to plug in, replug, trying not to run over the line, having like the tension when you go around corners and stuff. There are a lot of like tiny things like that which you don't realize until you go. It's like when you upgrade to like a high resolution monitor, then once you go up, you can't go back. It's one of those types of things, I feel. LunaVids says, I bought today an i7 12700KF. Very solid choice for a processor. 64 gigabytes of DDR4. Oh, no, DDR5, sorry. 5600 megahertz, 2 terabyte M.2 SSD, 1250 platinum. Man, whoa. Wait, a U3070 for 220 DLSS. Waiting for a RTX 5080. I was about to ask, why did you buy a 1250 watt platinum power supply with a 3070 and a 1270 KF? Because you don't need that much power, but we don't know what an RTX 5080. I feel like the 5080 is still going to work with the 1000 watt power supply. I don't think they're going to go too crazy, especially if you have a quality power supply. That should be fine. But nice, congrats. That's very solid specs for a build. So shutting down my business and switching to a vacuum store instead. Lol. I mean, so we bought our Dyson at Costco. I think there are vacuum cleaner stores. This is the unhinged section of stream. Vacuum cleaner store. Quality sewing and vacuum. There are stores around me. City Vacuum and Sewing. Everett Vacuum. Oh my goodness. This store only sells vacuum cleaner products. I mean, I guess that's nice if you want to physically see a standing model in a store. But I feel like this type of mom and pop shop would be struggling. Because people nowadays are lazy and they just want to buy whatever they can online if possible. And if not, they're likely going to be buying it from a big department store like Costco or Target or Walmart or something like that. I am very curious what the foot traffic would be of a specifically vacuum cleaner store. Apparently this store has been around since 1944. So they're still, you know, kicking. But that's a very funny idea to me. I had a V15 for 3 or 4 years. No brainer, worth it. I never had any issues. Yeah. V15 though. Wait, V15 has been around for that long? I thought that was like the newer models. But they might have peaked at that. We are still talking vacuum cleaners, Luna. Indeed. But, yes, vacuum cleaner repair store would be great. Maybe that's what this store does. Okay. What is it? 6:44? Okay, I gotta end actually pretty much on the dot at 7. So I am wrapping up. You can't really see it. This video sitting behind me, you saw it in last stream, but last stream I didn't benchmark it yet. I just had it built. I've fully benchmarked this. I have it set there for B-roll right now. But yeah, that should be this weekend's video. And then afterwards, I will do the white P60 build that we built on stream. I have also tested that build. I have not painted the graphics card yet. I need to paint that dang thing. And then, yeah, then we got this X99 as well as other videos in the pipeline. So lots of stuff, just super busy. And then we got PAX this coming weekend. So anyone going to PAX West 2024? If so, you might see me there. Also, if so, you could have a chance to be on the channel if you want for a YouTube short. I will be handing out snacks for people who do the surveys for my YouTube shorts content. But yeah, belts, switches, and cords. I don't even know what the internal of like the Dyson V10 looks like. Like what drives the motor? internal. Like, what does the cross section of that thing look like? And online, there's not a ton of pictures to show it. It is definitely, doesn't seem like, it's a magnet. You can hear the magnet, actually. Yeah, it's like magnetic based motor, right? Because every time you use it, it makes like that dong sound. You can hear the magnets spinning up and then winding down. Gavin says, no one gets your reference. What reference? I need a dust filter for a Hoover Max Extract 60 Pressure Pro. Is that from a movie or TV show? I don't get it off the top of my head, but if you say what it is, I might be able to recall it. The local vacuum stores have mostly used sales and does repair, and I'm glad they are there to pick up Eureka bags. Are the Eureka bags there the same price? Okay, I'm not going to bring this up because I just thought to myself, yes, support your local shops over Amazon when you can. What ethnicity are you? Viet, Chinese? Those are very good guesses. I am Vietnamese. I don't make it a big talking point on the videos or the stream, but I do have videos where you can kind of guess that I am Vietnamese, especially the one where I built the PC with my mom. If you watch that video, you're like, ah, okay, that's what ethnicity he is. But yeah, I'm Vietnamese. The 1250 watt was $2 more than the same 1050 watt. That's why. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Up to a certain dollar amount, it would be worth paying more for the 1250. Which model of power supply did you get though? You're saying that it's 1250. I'm guessing it's going to be a high-end power supply because there's not many. Actually, as I keep on getting distracted with new topics being brought up. 1250 watt power supply. Can we find a sketchy brand selling one of these? I mean, Game Max. A Game Max 1300 watt. But it's not like all Game Max power supplies are sketchy, are they? Game Max, F tier. All units. Huh, okay. I don't know if I really trust that all of them are F units. Remember, the tier list, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. You gotta do your own research and blah, blah, blah. They're saying all Game Max and Game Power supplies are F tier. This one is, the way that this one is priced is 1300 watts, platinum certified, which doesn't really mean much. And 170 bucks. The way that this is priced, I could see this being higher than F tier. Let's just say that. But this is just one of those like, has anyone reviewed this thing? Has Ari's reviewed this? It's just one of those things that I feel like the renowned power supply reviewers are not just gonna pick up and review. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about them. Oh, wait, Hardware's Busters. Wait. This is the exact same power supply. Wait. Game Max. This is their newer version because it's got the ATX 3.0 and PCIe 5.0 standard. But to get an idea, okay, we have an actual review from the man himself, Aris. Okay. So he says 4.5 stars on Amazon. I think he's being sarcastic here. Look at this. $20 gift card for reviewing, etc. Okay, dude, there's an actual in-depth review. Okay. It's not recommended, but lots of pros, some cons. So see, this is why you take the tier list with a grain of salt. You have literally the PSU tier list putting Game Max only in the F tier and just making an umbrella statement that says all units. And then you got Ares, the dude that the PSU tier list uses as a reference to rate their power supplies. Let me see what he says here. I had some older GameMax units that weren't good at all. On the contrary, I was afraid for my well-being while testing them. That said, the GameMax RGB 1050 Pro is a different story. Although the first sample died randomly at low load test at only 35C, the second pulled out almost all tests. It couldn't operate at 110 load for the required period to finish properly, which might be good though, since it means that the platform is effectively protected. Nonetheless, I wasn't brave enough to evaluate the protection features properly, since I could not risk my super expensive equipment when the PSU showed signs. Okay. In any case, looks like a decent unit offering a great deal. So he didn't want to damage his testing equipment by pushing it too much, but he still tested it up to like more than enough to like what a typical user would test. Like nobody out there is pushing their power supplies to like 150% load, right? That's just what they do, testing for conservatism and for safety factors and stuff like that. So that doesn't mean that this like Game Max power supplies deserve like A or B tier, but maybe C, D tier, which isn't the end of the world. I don't know, but yeah. Alexander with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Alexander. Sorry it took a second to get to your super chat. Danny, thoughts on the Ares Game 550 watt power supply? Bronze. I bought it for a budget NAS system. Ryzen 4500, 16 gigs of RAM, 2060 Super. Honestly, for a system like this, despite Ares Game getting... I think Ares Game is also in the all F tier list. Let me see. Ares Game. Yes. Ares Game, all units also in the F tier list. Again, like I know Ares Game had the thing where they lied about their efficiency rating and stuff like that, or was it that they sent like a specific cherry picked unit to the 80 plus efficiency rating, and then most of their units didn't actually meet it. Whatever the case is, I think like you have a Ryzen 4500 and a 2060 Super in it. That's fine. You know how much that pulls from the wall? Let me see. We can actually look that up because I don't know off the top of my head. But if I had to guess, that's pulling like at max 400 watts from the wall under load, and you're using this for a budget NAS system. You're not even gaming with it, so it's gonna be pulling way less. You're loading this power supply so low that the issues that typically come up with low tier power supplies aren't even gonna apply. But I mean, I don't know. For a NAS system, do you care about dependability? If so, would it have been a better choice to have bought for this? Because the Ares Game 550 watt, what are those, like $40 or something? Let's see. I don't know if you got yours user or what, but the Ares Game 550 watt, yeah, $40, right? 500 watt is $38. I feel like for the same $40, you could have bought like some 500 watt more reliable unit. I'm saying both things at once. This is not a well-received power supply for a number of reasons. And it has been shown that they have cut corners to get their prices down this low. But at the same time, do I think in your budget NAS system that's just sitting there not playing games and not, you know, running Prime 95 and rendering videos and stuff like that, and it's just used as a NAS system, do I think it's going to be an issue and catch your house on fire or die super prematurely? Not necessarily. If I had to bet, I think you would be fine. It is more likely that your system will be fine than it's going to end in a catastrophic failure. Let's just say that. That's my thoughts on the Ares Game 550 watt power supply. Is there any used units for like cheaper? Is there any options? Doesn't look like it. Like, I would be okay with this $300 system that's coming up. I would be okay with using a power supply that's cheap. Because you got to think, not everybody is building on a big budget. Sometimes you have a limited choice, limited options, limited money. That's where these no-name power supplies can fit in, right? And make for an argument to use them. Obviously, if you can find a more reputable model and brand in the used market, do so. But maybe you can't. Maybe you live in a country where you can't find that, or if you live in an area that you can't. Honestly, used power supplies on eBay and stuff like that, the prices aren't that great. It's hard to find good deals because people know, you know, how much power supplies are worth. Your best bet is going to be finding a power supply on Facebook Marketplace or Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp from someone who is just straight up upgrading to a new power supply and new system, and they're just offloading it for cheap. Because, yeah, like a good quality power supply, it's worth a lot of money because they last for years. Under full extreme overclock, my 980 Ti was pulling 280 watts on its own. Yeah, 280 watts, and then you account for, let's just say, 100 for the what's it called? The CPU, and then for the rest of the system, you know, drives, RAM, RGB, motherboard, etc., another like 75. You're looking at still under 550 watts easily. So, yeah. Luna Vids with the $20... Wait, MX $20. What is MX? Would that still use the dollar sign? Is that the okay, Mexican peso. That makes sense. Thank you for the 20 Mexican peso super chat. I appreciate it, Luna Vids. Enjoy the rest of your work. Alexander. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. Perfect scenario. You paid $10 for the Ari's Game 550 watt power supply. I have zero issues with that. Anybody who has issues with a $10 power supply in a use case that is a budget system that was meant to be built for as cheap as possible to get up and running, and then I don't know what to say. Like, it's like when you do a $300 or $200 PC build video and you use a cheap questionable power supply and people complain that you're not using an A or B tier power supply that costs $50 to $60. Like, bro, my budget is $200 total. I'm not spending a quarter of the budget on a power supply when, you know, a sketch brand will work just perfectly. You're eating so much of your performance dollars up trying to, you know, the power supply is not going to add more FPS. I understand the value of a good power supply, but you also got to understand in life, sometimes you have to, you know, you got to buy the like bottom shelf stuff because that's all you can afford. For reference, I pulled 550 watt of PVA PSU from a cheap pre-built. It weighed like 9 ounces. No way I would use that for anything. Yeah, that would be more questionable. Actually, you should test that. Actually, I don't know if I have any... I've had a PVA power supplies before, but not on hand at the moment. The issue is with power supply testing is just like we saw in the article from Ari's, from Hardware Busters. Reviewers, which there's only like 2 in the world. I think just we're down to like 1 at the moment that does like mainstream reviews. There might be other ones that we don't know about, maybe from other countries or something like that. But like Ari's, after Johnny Guru left, is the guy for power supply reviews. And generally, the power supplies they test are rated well because they aren't going to bother with ones that are on crappy platforms or with crappy internal components and stuff like that. So every power supply that's being tested from them come out to be like A, B, or C tier. I don't know if I've seen an article from Hardware Busters recently that tested like a E or F tier power supply, which doesn't it make sense that you should be testing those ones. It's like, why are we testing the power supply? Why are we only testing the power supplies that we know are made from reputable manufacturers with high quality components that pass like all the efficiency and noise testing and stuff like that on well-known good platforms? Why are we testing those when we like you can already predict that they're going to come out as high quality top tier power supplies? Does that give buyers the information that they need to make an informed purchase as much as if you did that with low tier power supplies? Because like, again, if you were to run a low tier power supply through the full rounds of tests, like overload, over voltage, over current, like testing the protections and all that stuff, and finding the breakpoints of those variables, that will let you know like, hey, how much can you really test this power supply to? If I'm buying a 600 watt sketch power supply, but I'm only loading up to 300 watts sustained load, or 400 watts, what would the testing show? Is that okay? Because in those cases, I don't see a problem with it, but you know, you don't see that kind of testing done. So all the E and F tier power supplies, those rankings, they're purely based on just looking at the internal components and like looking at the company's history and stuff like that. It is not actually based on that being hooked up to a like, you know, a sophisticated test system to run it through its paces. Short stream means you're wearing shorts like a bikini stream? No, it does not, Death Tech. What's up, Ryan? How you doing? You're not going to PAX this year, right? If you are, let me know, because I will be there. Next time I get a China Wu PSU, I would do a deep dive with internal pictures and testing with my tried and true thermal take. I mean, wait, what would be the deep dive internal picture testing with my tried and true thermal take? What do you mean by that? High power power supplies, no. Wait, what? Wait, game influencers say that power supplies with RGB lighting do increase FPS by up to 25%. Which one? Which one? Name them. What GPU is the best under $200? Ask Goo Shiesty. Under $200, best. Can we get 6700 XTs for? If you can get a 6700 XT, which it would have to be considered a good deal. That's not their standard. Their standard price are closer to like 230, 240 right now. 6700 XT. So that means naturally going one step below that, or maybe two steps, 1.5 steps, to the 6600 XT. Those are readily available under $200 in the used market. On Nvidia side of thing, what's around $200? 3060 Ti's. I picked up a 3060 Ti semi recently for $200. So yeah, you're looking at 3060 Ti or 6600 XT. The best between the two, I mean, they trade blows. Nvidia is better for RTX, but the AMD one's gonna be slightly cheaper. Are 2080 Ti's under $200 now? I thought they were a little bit more expensive. Let me get to that in a second. Shader747 says, to be honest, I like the Powertrain P60 last week's stream. It's similar to the Ion's KZX1 PC case without the fan mount on the top of the motherboard. Honestly, oh yeah, I did some testing on that. I did some testing on that fan on top of the case. It does nothing. It does nothing. But so it doesn't improve, but it doesn't decrease the performance or interrupt the CPU. I gotta do some testing with a bottom mount, but I don't think the bottom mount fan's gonna do anything because there's so little, there's still a little space. There's no legs essentially on that case, so the bottom fan is gonna do nothing. But yeah, in a case like that, the primary fans are gonna be the you know, the front intake and the rear exhaust. And yeah, any other fans are gonna make very negligible differences. I'll make a YouTube short on it, but yeah. But what is this case? The Ions KZ-X1 portable in the UK. It is the exact same case, huh? Yeah. Okay. It's just like these cases come from the same factory and they get bought up by different companies and get their brand slapped on it. This one's Ion Z. But yeah, this is the exact same case. With a little bit of... actually, no. Mine came with the mounting bracket for the SSD here. I do like the case. I like the case even though it was kind of a pain to build in some aspects. Check out the happy guy at the bottom. Yeah, look at him. He is holding it like he's getting ready to go on vacation or something. With the jump in the air, look at that scenic background in nature. You can go anywhere. The Go Anywhere case. Portability isn't just for laptops, except for when you have to also set up your external keyboard, mouse, monitor, and, you know, have a UPS or have an outlet nearby. I mean, comparing a portable PC tower to a laptop is not even... You shouldn't do that. You should not do that. We got Ryan jumping in between the two different streams. Ryan, did you see my question? You're not going to PAX this year, are you, by chance? Looking at used 2080 Ti's for $355 at the moment. I'm wondering if that's a good decent deal. Where are they? Is that what they... No. That's way too high. For $355, you can get much better cards than the 2080 Ti. But I actually don't know what the going price for those are. Because usually by that point, you can buy something newer for similar performance. Alright, 2080 Ti as is, open box. So 1080 Ti's, okay. Cyberpunk radiator, yeah, that's not what we care about. So they're over $200. Looking like the cheapest. This one is a zero account seller. 2080 Ti $250 sounds about right. And if you want to look at the relative performance though, 2080 Ti is around a 6700 XT 3070-ish performance level. For $250, you're pretty close to getting a used 3070, and you could definitely get a 6750 XT or 6700 XT. So I would just buy the newer card. I don't know if I would bother, like, if you could find a good deal for like 200 or something, sure. But if we're gonna just go off of eBay prices, $250, just get the newer gen cards. Also in the used market. That's my take. Ask again, my daughter distracted me. You going to PAX? PAX art thou going? PAX West. This weekend. Because it was solely used for mining and the card is mint, I don't know if I would consider a card that was used for mining for X amount of years considered mint. But $355 is still too much. I don't care, like $355 for a 2080 Ti if you're in the States, by the way. I don't know if you're in another country. I cannot speak to the prices there because I know stuff is more expensive outside the US. But it does not matter, even if it was a brand new. Not even used for mining. Brand new in box, sealed, 2080. $355 is too much. There are much better cards to be had for that same price. Didn't even know this weekend. Ah, okay. You're not going. Dang it. But yeah, it's this weekend. If you need CUDA, your only choice is NVIDIA in relation AMD. Yeah, that is one of the points. Like the assumption, and I usually try to specify. Sometimes I forget. If you need it for gaming, then yeah, you kind of have more options, and AMD becomes, you know, like when it comes to the bang for buck value factor, AMD becomes very enticing. But yeah, if you do have uses where specifically NVIDIA cards just like blow AMD performance out of the water, it's not even worth arguing about. Looking to spend less than $1,000 because I'm recycling some hardware like the PSU. You're looking to wait. I don't understand. You have you have up to $1,000 to spend on a graphics card. That's a lot. You can buy so many different cards at so many different price points for that. How do you even give advice for something like that? This was finals. Yes. Yeah, the final week for Scrapyard Wars. Has that been a lot of work on your guys' end in terms of like Java traffic and stuff like that and moderation on the Discord? Yeah, because I can imagine if anything that Linus puts his hands on and puts in a video, that would drive a lot of viewership, or not viewership in your case, but like usership and traffic. Massive amounts of work for everyone. That, you know, that's like a blessing in disguise, kind of, because that's more success for Java, right? So congrats to you guys and the team over there for that. Look up high power PSUs on eBay. What was that specific model one though? You gotta give me the search term. I don't remember. I'm not gonna type in high power PSU, but you're looking like 800. Was it 850 watt? Hey, this one's actually Seasonic SS FS12 is the one. Okay. That. These are the ones from the article, right? Did I type it in wrong? High power FS12. What is wrong with my eBay? Oh, here it is. All right, what are we talking? What are we looking at here? 600 watt for about 40 bucks. James Tronics Gadget Store. And then what about this one? So 600 watt again, 40 bucks. So we're looking at the $40 price range. I feel like at the $40 price range, there's a decent amount of options. Man, back when EVGA stock was a thing, there was also plenty. Here's 600 watts for 25. Is it bidding only though? Not buy it out. Those are B plus rated. Let's see. Maybe if I take out the F. Did that help? I'm trying to find the search term so that we can find more instead of all the other like random non-ATX power supplies. F12S. There you go. Yeah, I was noticing in the listings. So 700 watt, 50 bucks. 45 bucks, 25 bid. Let me go to buy it now. $500 watt for about 38 bucks. Ooh, how do I Why is the timeout function not popping up for this person who's spamming chat? Put in timeout. Okay. This is a good option, and thanks for bringing this up. This is a good option for if whatever reason your local area just doesn't have like good deals on power supplies. For budget builds, like what is the Seagotep one is it's like a C or B tier that you can buy brand new for $50. So these aren't far from it. Honestly, I'm not gonna make a big deal about B versus C tier power supplies. I know some people would. In my mind, on a budget build, I could honestly care less. But for the ease of buying, yeah, there's tons of options for these ones. So this, let's see. Yeah, there's plenty of options under $50 as long as your system is good with 600 watts or less. This is like a, you know, I'm tired of trying to find one in the used market. Just go here, make it easy, buy it now, pay the tax, get it shipped straight to your door. Save yourself the hassle if you want to like simplify the deal hunting process. Are they still making these, or are these like older units pulled from systems that eventually the basically the well will dry up? I have a 400 watt Corsair PSU that you can have for free, lol. Just sell that. For the most part, I try not to like take components from viewers for free. Because you can sell them and get more money from it. Like get some money back. Like 400 watt Corsair PSU, you can make 20 bucks off of that. Now, I have taken components from people who were very adamant in sending me them. And like it was like what was it, GTX 950 from one of the viewers, along with some other stuff. But they literally wrote in the letter like they could not have been bothered to list it and to go through the hassle of finding a buyer, meeting up, and stuff like that. But yeah, I tend to not just take free parts from viewers if we can help it, because I'd rather you sell it and get the money in your pocket. I use these in all my flips. You think they're gonna be they're from OEMs, but what I'm saying is, do you think this is gonna be around for years to come? I don't know when these started popping up like on eBay and stuff like that, but this is a very good source for power supplies for like a good price. I wouldn't recommend using power supplies that don't have a warranty, even in a flip. I'm actually curious now that you bring this up, Death Tech, on the Jawa side of things. How many sellers on Jawa? Because they are essentially selling flips. How many of them are using either power supplies that are beyond warranty or versus like new ones? And then with the transfer of, I don't know all the warranty policies of these companies, but some companies don't have transferable warranties. So even if they were to build one, because they are the original owner and, you know, have the invoice and receipt, once they sell the flip, it goes to a secondary owner, and I don't know if the warranty becomes void at that point. But yeah. On flips, the number one failure is PSU. Second is the GPU. I could see that. I feel like motherboards might be up there too. Are motherboards like number 3? RAM and CPU are usually pretty, what's it called? Are robust. High power only offers a 90-day warranty, and that's to the OEM. I know people love their PSU tier list, but I have had a low tier PSU for about 4 years now. Never had a problem with it. Yeah, I mean, this is something we bring up all the time on stream. Um, the tier list, take it with a grain of salt. It's a good reference. It is a very good reference when you are just browsing for power supplies and you need like, oh, where, like, what's the general quality of this? But definitely do your research and do more homework beyond the tier list. It's like a nice cheat sheet to help guide you, but it shouldn't be the only thing you're looking at. Unless I guess you're lazy. Then if you're lazy, then it's probably the best source to look at. My friend's budget is 1100 and thinks he can maybe get a 4070. Well, what are 4070s going for nowadays? I think that might actually be possible. I was about to do that thing. 4070s right now are going for 550 at Best Buy. What is the lowest price 4070? Non-super. 550 on Newegg. Yeah, that means you could do it. You could do a 4070 build with $1,100. 550 is going to go towards the 4070. Maybe if you get a used one for 450 or something, you can have more money for the rest of the components. But with $550 left for everything else, I mean, that's like Ryzen 5 5600 from AliExpress for $80 territory. That's, you know, 16 gigabytes. Yeah, probably 16 gigabytes of RAM, because everything you buy is going to add up to the remaining 550 quickly. It can be done. It might be a slightly off balance system, but it could work. But again, the more used parts you buy, the more deals you find, it becomes a more well-rounded build. But just looking at 4070 at build at $1,100, that does not scream like out of this world to me. It seems pretty doable. But he only wants a pre-built. Actually, I think I saw some pre-builds on Newegg. Let me see. Death, are there any pre-built 4070s on Jawa? What am I doing? It's almost 7:30. I was supposed to go like 30 minutes ago. We're going to finish up by 7:30 on the dot. But I'm having such a good time in stream tonight that this is how I got distracted to keep going. RTX 4070 PC. What do we got? Okay. So here's a 4070. Is there anything cheaper than this? You know what? As a person who likes building PCs as much as I do, I also like browsing pre-builds. It is very fun to do. Here we go. 1150, you say? With a 4070, I give you this Yayan PC from Newegg. Sold and shipped by Newegg, it looks like. Is it sold and shipped by... Yes, it is sold and shipped by Newegg. With a 13th gen i5, 1TB SSD, 16 gigs of RAM. Interesting. Potentially a one stick. But you got yourself an RTX 4070. Under $1,150, wanting to go pre-built. This is like pretty much what you're looking at. You're looking at 12 or 13th gen i5. And then whatever the heck else in it. Usually 1TB and then either 16 or 32 gigs of RAM. Here, I will link this to you. But if we look at Jawa, what are people flipping? RTX 4070. With the RTX 4070 search, we should be able to find PC builds with 4070s in them. Okay, we got some people, because these are 4070 Ti Supers and stuff, so much higher end cards. But we go to lowest price. Is anybody selling something? Because with Newegg, it's like used with warranty. Is anyone selling? What's up, Shauner? He's alive and live. Indeed. Back to school special. What is this PC? 4060 for $800. Okay. We're looking for them 4070 goodies. And I'm guessing here's a 4060 Ti with a 7600X for 1075. 6800 for 1050. Yeah, this one It's got a 4060 Ti, but it does have the newer. You're not gonna see many like AM5 platform stuff at this price range. Is it this one? Has a, yes. Okay, so this one is slightly more expensive, but it is way nicer looking than whatever the heck this is. Yeah, this is like a black theme PC, but do they even tell you what power supply? 650 watt gold. Yeah, so we don't know a lot about some of the stuff in this system, like maybe motherboard and power supply. So on Java, we're looking at a 4070 i5 12600KF. Off the top of my head, I don't know how that compares to the 13400. I'm thinking the 12600KF might be better for gaming, but 1 terabyte, all brand new parts being used. What? A PVA Prestige power supply. They tell you at least the motherboard you're getting 4070. So yeah, 4070 build, you don't have to go use. This person built it with all brand new parts. Though the Prestige, is that the one that might be slightly higher tiered? Or is this the one that's not on? A PVA Prestige, speculative C tier. Okay. So yeah, if this person's a PC flipper, they probably know what they're doing in trying to like maximize profit and using stuff that's not like the complete bottom of the barrel. But yeah, so you got a C tier power supply over an unknown no-name power supply on Newegg side of things for $70 more. So it is doable. There are multiple like options out there. We gotta put away the browser. We got 3 minutes left to stream. I cannot get distracted again. You have to budget $100 for someone to assemble it for you. You do, but then, so it depends, right? For someone like a Java seller, yeah. The build fee from bigger companies, I feel like they just tack it on because they can, but they are getting parts at less than like, because they have like bulk buying and stuff, right? They're not just buying individual parts from Amazon and Newegg. They are buying parts in bulk and stuff, so they do get some discount there. But yeah, usually for $100 you count on someone assembling it for you. But sometimes sellers, even on either on Java or PC flippers, they might sell something at what the market average price is without adding on a build fee because they were able to get a good enough deal on a part. Like let's say they found some amazing deal on an RTX 3070 for $150. So now in their build, they can value it at $250 and make money that way and not necessarily have to charge a lot for the build fee to be more competitive. So did I ever cover Deep Cool? I did not cover Deep Cool. We talked about it a little bit when that happened, because it's been months by this point. Deep Cool not being able to sell in the US anymore because they sold things to Russia, who we are not on good terms with in the US. So beyond that though, I haven't really covered it. Kind of sucks, like just seeing, like I've worked with Deep Cool. I've had sponsorships with them. I've used their products. Their products, you know, they make good products. It just sucks that, like, you know, the international situation and politics and stuff like that is affecting a company that makes parts for like gaming PCs. Somewhat far removed, but yeah. It sucks, but there's so many options for the same product classes that Deep Cool makes, like cases, power supplies, CPU coolers. There's plenty of options from other brands. Their stuff is expensive on eBay, yeah, because it's just, I don't know why third-party sellers are marking up Deepcore products. Do they think people are gonna have like some nostalgic trip, or like are gonna value something because it's quote unquote rare? There's so many other options out there. It is not the same as like selling a Founders Edition NVIDIA card for more than the MSRP, because those are actually rare and there are no alternatives, kind of, for like that specific specialty card. But there's so many case options and all that it doesn't make sense to me why they're more expensive, but yeah. Time's up, pencils down, Danny. Yes, the test is over. All right. That's going to be it for stream. I got to go eat some hot pot. So, I'm going to be at PAX this weekend. If you are going to be at PAX, if you see me, stop by, do an interview, get some snacks. If not, then look forward to the content that will be coming out of that. Also, going to try to finish this video up somehow while doing the whole PAX this weekend. And then we'll get to the P60 build as well. Labor Day, we didn't even talk about Labor Day all stream, but yeah, Labor Day is this coming Monday. So for those of you who are fortunate enough to have that day off, whether it be from school or work, then hope you have a good, long weekend. For those of you who work in like, food service or wherever else that still works on Labor Day, then does that count as holiday pay? If it does, then hopefully you get your money, go make that paper. But hope you all have a good rest of your night, have a good rest of your week, and a good long weekend coming up. And yeah, I will see you guys in the comments of the next video, YouTube short, or in next week's stream. Take care. Bye-bye.